Hey, what's up guys? Sean Fletcher, BridgerMarieMagazine.com, and today, very special guest, honored to have Michael Fishman. What's up, buddy?
Glad to be here. Good.
Good. So we got a few questions. Not many, probably about 50. I don't know.
Only 50.
Only 50, maybe 51.
Okay, hopefully they're all things that I can answer well.
So first question is, tell us who Michael Fishman really is.
Probably not what people expect.
Okay.
I had such a great character. I think everybody knows me from DJ on Roseanne, but I would say now, that's me. Not too bad. But I'm high energy. I love being in the business. I love acting, writing, trying to produce. So I love all facets of this. And then I'm a dad. I have 2 kids, and I try to be a good dad. I try to balance both work and my responsibilities. And I have a lot of different I'm a big sports guy. I'm a big athletics, and I don't know. I do a lot of everything. I'm a history buff. I like quotes and I like things like that. So, and then I listen to like rap music. So I'm probably not what people anticipate coming from their initial reaction from the DJ Connor character.
You pretty much grew up on the set of it. I mean, what was that like for you?
It was the most amazing experience. I don't think I could have asked for anything better than working on Roseanne. I think if it almost was a perfect dream. I came into this business from knowing nothing and not being involved, and nobody in my family had a connection. And I worked with such great people, and I really was taken in by the crew and the cast and everybody and the writers. And so they really shaped me as both a person on camera, but more off.
Okay, that's great. It's beautiful. And since, I guess that leads us to the next one. What have you been up to since Roseanne?
Well, after the show, I worked a little bit, and then I went back to high school, went to college, and then I met my wife.
Nice.
And decided I was raising my little brother, and then I decided to have kids, and I really wanted to be heavily involved with my kids.
Okay.
And so I kind of went behind the scenes. I worked on Roseanne's talk show, and then I worked as a prop guy and lighting, and I wanted to learn everything.
Yeah.
I've always loved this business and felt like I was going to come back. To be really good, you have to have an idea of what it's like to come in at 4 o'clock in the morning and be that guy who's the first there on set.
And dragging lights.
Yes, dragging cables, and it makes you appreciate when you get to be the guy who shows up at 10 o'clock and hit your mark, hit your light, and
you understand.
deliver.
You understand more, yeah.
And then, as I moved away, you just miss it. After Glenn Quinn passed away, and I had my daughter, and you start evaluating your life, and I was working in all these other fields, and I've been really successful. I was really lucky. I was a high school coach, and I played ball all over, and I've been really lucky. I've had a great life, but I have such a hunger for this.
That's great. Some great answers.
Hope they're not too long.
No.
I got a big mouth sometimes. That's what happens when you grow up with good writing. Shorten everything up.
Good job, Goodman over there. So do strangers still call you DJ? Is it kind of?
It's funny because it won't happen at all. And then for a day or 2 days, it happens all day. And then you start to go what am I wearing? Did I do my hair different? What is it today that screams DJ?
Well, I guess moving on to the next one. How do fans react when they see you on the street? You pretty much.
Yeah,
you went all the way to the stadium.
It's been very good. I have the occasional fan who, some people aren't crazy about Roseanne. Usually those were people who didn't watch the show. And then we did some very interesting episodes over the course of the show. There's an episode where my character wouldn't kiss a girl because she was black. That didn't go over well with some people. And then the one in particular, the baby doll heads, where he cut the heads off his sister's dolls. I still get doll parts in the mail, which is a little creepy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 20-something years later, you still get every once in a while, you're like, how did you get this address? And why did you send me a Barbie doll part? But the most amusing one is when somebody goes, hey, you're that guy. And they can't come up with the name of the show. And they're like, you're that guy from that show. The one. And we did the masturbation episode. So next thing you know is the guy starts doing masturbation hand gestures in the middle of a public place. And you're that guy. And I have to go, yes, I'm that guy.
Oh my god.
And then you laugh and you're like, look around, like, I hope people aren't looking at this guy doing this in the middle of a public
Family
place.
grocery store right now, trying to get eggs.
Please, nobody take this picture. So, but it's good. And again, all of that has been overwhelmingly positive.
Great. Awesome. I mean, well, besides the masturbation episode, what is your favorite memory of being on the show?
I have so many good memories. I would say maybe my best memory is just the times being on set and watching the way we worked. You know, the way Roseanne would go through a script and circle things and move things, and the way John would improvise things, and Laurie Metcalf was amazing, and you know, Sarah Gilbert and Lisa Goranson and Sarah Chalk. I mean, even our side characters. You had Martin Mull and Fred Willard and, you know, Shelley Winters, Estelle Parsons. I didn't realize how lucky I was. And I think when I look back now, I got to watch masters at work.
So what is your favorite personal episode and why?
You know, it's funny, personal episodes, there are a couple like that really stick out to me. I love Lover's Lane, which is like in the first season. It's the first episode where I really think you see Roseanne's comedic character and John really come out. I think the writing, they really got into it and added to their character. There's a great scene where Becky's going and she has this guy she likes at the bowling alley and they're going to embarrass her. So that one sticks out because it was just one of those classic moments. There's a scene, like maybe 3 seasons in, where Roseanne and Laurie have a fight and they wrestle and they fall over the couch, which was such a hard scene to do, but turned out to be such a great one. There's a scene, it's more scenes than one episode. Yeah, okay. I guess, because for me, when I watch the show, it's almost like watching home movies.
Okay.
I remember all the stuff that was going on and then all the stuff that was behind the scenes. And then, you know, the masturbation episode, as hard as that was to do, it really wasn't, because before we got ready to do it, Roseanne called me and said, hey, you know, we're thinking about this idea, would you be comfortable? You don't have to talk about it. And then when we got there, as a comedian, when you're doing comedy, there's nothing better when you know, man, this is a home run. Like this is a great joke. Like this one's gonna kill. Like, and so you just laugh because you go, and it was like one up, like one good joke, then another good joke, then another good joke, and the whole show is so poignant and at the same time so real, so honest, but so funny, and the joke ships kept getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, how could you complain? You can kill it.
There's material right here.
Yeah.
This is what you dream.
You know, it's like I got 40 pages of nothing but one-upsmanship the whole way. It's like it's almost a shame to end the episode.
Oh my god. Yes.
So it was great.
So do you keep in touch with any of your castmates?
I try to keep in touch with everybody. It depends. Like John's one of those guys. John and I see each other from time to time, but it's real brief because he's always working.
Yeah.
And which is, as an actor, if you can have that gig, that's a blessing. So when I don't hear from him, we usually talk online.
Okay.
So if I don't get to see him right away, it's always because it's for a good reason. So there's nothing but positives there. Roseanne, I see a lot. We talk a lot. We talk online. We talk via Twitter. We talk via email. We talk on the phone. And so when she's in town, depending on what she's working on, we always find a time to get together and have dinner or meet up. You know, my kids think she was a second mother figure for me. So my kids, so they see her as like, I don't know, like an extended weird extra grandma who's kind of famous. So it's a weird dynamic. And then Sarah Gilbert has her talk show. I go and visit her every once in a while. Lisi I've seen a few times. Sarah Chalk I haven't seen as much, but I try to keep in contact with everybody. You know, Laurie is doing a play right now, and so I called her, wished her luck, sent her flowers. You know, we keep in touch. We're not the typical group where it's like, okay, everything's done and we just move on. I really think for us, we took such interest in each other. And in my case, I've tried really hard to hold on to that.
Nice. And then, in one word, describe your experience as a child star.
Oh, I hate the term child star.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go as one word for my acting life.
Love it. Go.
Exceptional.
All right, so that brings us on to one person you would love to work with. I know you've been fortunate to work with Roseanne, John Goodman, but looking ahead, one person you've been thinking of would just love the opportunity to be in the
One person to work with on a project. I would say George Clooney.
Okay.
And the reason is he worked on the show. So I knew George was the cool guy. George was a guy's guy. He was the guy you wanted to hang out with. And then I saw him on ER. My brother actually worked on ER for an episode, and so I got to see him again. And just to watch the transition from a guy who worked really hard to get there to a guy who not only made it, but is making his own things, I would love to kind of follow that path, and I think it would be a real honor to work with him again.
Great. Speaking of that, is there more acting in the future?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not done acting. All of it's kind of worked out to, I think I'm right on pace for where I'm supposed to be. I know that sounds very ethereal, or, but like I'm going to class a couple days a week, and I'm training, and I'm writing, and I'm getting in fighting shape, is the way I would put it. I'm going to get a shot, and I'm going to be ready. Whoever takes that chance on me is going to get somebody who not only can deliver when the camera goes on, but knows what it's like to be a professional and show up on set, be on time, show up early, go home late, give you everything you got, and if it's one take or you want 15 different takes, whatever you need, I'm here. I'm ready to be that guy.
Perfect. I love it. All right, so where do you think DJ Connor would be today?
Well, for DJ Connor, the funny part is Roseanne always says that DJ probably went and joined the military and went off and maybe died in military service, which I could see that being the case. I like to think that if he did do that, he made it back, because it gives me much more options. There's a little more options, I would say at this point, somewhat similar to me, because going from a family that was very tight-knit family, I have a very active role with my kids. Some elements of him, I would like to hope that he's matured a little. I would say he was very quirky, and I think I have a few quirks, so I think not too far off from where I am, only probably somewhere in Lanford, still doing some of the same things. Maybe still running the diner, I don't know.
Oh, the diner, nice. What's your advice for anyone wanting to break into it?
People ask me on Twitter all the time, and I'm trying to be really honest. The things are, and then come out here, or come to New York, or come to some place where you really feel you can do it, and give it your all, and try not to put a set timetable on it. Like the universe, I just don't think works that way.
No. What's your personal quote that you just like to stand out for all these people out there?
Oh, if I had a personal quote, for me, it's really interesting. Doctors take what they call the Hippocratic Oath, and the oath is first, do no harm. And I really feel that the first test for everything in life, an actor, a person working in a business, a coach, in my case, a parent, should be first, do no harm. Do it the right way. Do it with good intentions. So first, do no harm, I would say.
That's a great one. Yeah. And that's it. 52 questions.
That was not bad. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death.
No, man, it was great. That was probably one of the best, I can say, best interviews that I've done. Not gonna lie, it was very genuine, very compassionate, felt it. And you can check it out in the April issue of BridgeandReedMagazine.com. Michael Fishman, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.